Hello everyone, it's Ginger here and welcome to another video, and today we are doing something slightly different. Now, if you go back through my videos, you might have seen me doing some mono blocking before, basically where I use a single colour and I kind of craft out the base shapes that I want to form my base painting, and then once that's dry, paint over the top with pastels to kind of give it that vibrancy and colour. Now, previous couple of times I've done that, I've done it with birds. I love doing this with birds because it's just, it just works really well to be able to get really beautiful mark making. Now, what you see here in front of me, this is a gel plate. I have several. I have a bigger one. This is an 8" by 10". This one is not a jelly plate, that's a brand. I do have one of those. They are ridiculously expensive but also really, really good. This one, I'm just going to see if I can find it. Like to keep it in the packaging so it doesn't get messy, certainly around here anyway. This one I got off Amazon, so it's a gel press plate. Now I'm going to peel this off now that I've accidentally stuck that to that. There we go. So there we go. Basically it's a gel printing plate. It's made of a silicone gel, so it's ever so slightly sticky, but yeah. Has that kind of dull thud sound. And basically what you do is you apply it. It's just slid off the packaging's just slid off the table and landed in the cat bed, and the cat is not impressed. Sorry, Coco. She's not part of the demonstration, I assure you. Although she would try if she got the opportunity. So, I'm going to use this today, and what you're supposed to do is add printing ink or acrylic. Acrylic works really well as well, but you need to kind of get it to that slightly sticky stage. I tend to use lino ink. I've got just some basic ones. These are Schmidt College lino ink. I have got, it's really actually difficult to tell the colours. One of these is blue, dark blue, and one of these is black. I think that's the dark blue. So basically what we're going to do is we are going to cover this with ink, and then we're going to craft out what we're looking for. Now, the image you can see here in the top left hand corner, because I've switched over today, is a sparrow. We live in Scotland, and in the UK there is a fair amount of sparrows. I used to see a lot more sparrows when I was down south in Englandshire, but now I don't see quite as many up here, but I do have a lot of many more interesting birds. I live not that far from a nature reserve full of ospreys, and they are just absolutely stunning, and plenty of hawks as well around this area. So it's always good. I just love doing birds. I love the movement, I love the shape, I love the fact that when you're mark making with birds you can really go all out. Now, the bird that I'm doing, as you can see in this picture, is stationary, but I love the play of light. So I'm going to put a bit of this down. Don't want much. Also probably going to get I want a spare sheet of paper. Which I'm going to put here off to the side. This is for rolling off excess ink. You don't want too much ink. So basically we're going to go down. Is this the blue or is this the black? Blood, I have absolutely no idea now. What we want to do is just cover the whole thing. Before you ask, this is just sheets down because I always end up off the edge. So I'm just spreading it out for a minute, and then we'll start evening this out. If anyone wants to know, I buy almost all of my art supplies from Jackson's. just because I live in the middle of nowhere and DPD does very well in delivering, so that's kind of what we want. Right, now when you're loading a gel plate like this, you really need to be doing it in one direction, so that's what we're doing here. I would also always suggest working in a well ventilated room. That's me just removing spare ink. You do not want, I want it, you know, fairly dark, but not like that. See, it's kind of getting to the slightly sticky stage. You can just see the effects of the roller in that. Now, I want to add some texture to the background. Dry my brayer. Stick the brayer there for the time being. Yeah, I think that's... What do you say on the back? Pigment PBK7. That's unhelpful. How about you? Pigment PG7. I don't know. I've also got yellow though. This is one of my favourite golden yellows. But for this case we're not going to do that. Right, so I want to add some texture. What have I got lying around? I have a feather paintbrush. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lightly drag across. Will you sit still? I've got some shaping tools as well, but I'm not sure if I've got enough of this ink off actually. Possibly not, I think is the answer. I might use some crumpled kitchen tar actually. I think that might give a better background to what I'm looking for. In the image you can see it's got a kind of bokeh effect background where they've blurred out the background trees, which is fine. And I quite like because it brings the branches that the sparrow is sitting on forward, and that's kind of what we want. So where's the kitchen towel one? I just want this scrunched up so it's giving me texture. I do want it kind of lighter at the top. I know, well, you might be able to kind of see what's going on there, which is fine. Right, that's actually given us quite a nice texture. I quite like that. Right. What do I want to do? I am looking for... Do you want to use this? I might use this. Got some wool lying around, which might be useful. So I'm going to cut a length of wool. Now we've got these branches coming up. I just want to... Yeah, I should probably... Where are my shapers? I had them a minute ago and I've put them down. Oh, there they are. These are silicone shaping tools. They're great for what we're doing here. So I'm just gonna stick this down, and this should lift off some of this ink in a nice way. Now that I've got a huge fingerprint at the top. We'll work out what I'm doing with that later. Always keep tons of kitchen towel because you're going to be wiping and wiping, and this stuff is super sticky. Ooh, there we go. I don't know if you can see that, but I can absolutely see that. I'm also going to do one here. Remember, this is only a background image, so I don't need this to be, you know, completely visible or perfect in any way. I just want it to give me something to work on underneath. Squashing this down against the plate so it lifts the ink, just like that. Right, let's put you and you over here. I've got my piece of card that I'm actually going to be working on. Right, now El Birdo, I want the bird to be sitting here, so what I want is bird here, this one's over the top of that one. That's what I want. Usually when I do this I use a print. I thought I'd use printing ink this time around, but it might be a little bit sticky for this. We shall see. So there's the head, and you've got the body kind of comes round here. Here, and then his tail comes out this way. Don't you, buddy? Yep. Kind of a, I wouldn't say he's a fat bird, but he definitely is, isn't a thin one. It's obviously a well-fed sparrow. They are masterminds, to be fair, at finding food no matter what you do. So his feet actually, because he's actually standing on this one, not that one. So his feet actually come down to here. Like that. Yeah, that kind of makes sense if you can see it. I don't know how much. I'll make sure that I'll lighten it so you can see it anyway. So what I want to do is do that in a minute. So you see, that's where he is. Now, want it like that. So all these little buds. I need something to kind of dot and dab these buds on, but actually I could probably do that with pastel, so it makes no difference. Lose it. Right. So we've got, this is a piece of cotton rag. It's very, very smooth. You probably can't see that, and I don't think the camera's going to pick it up anyway. So I'm just going to pop this down over here, and using the flat my hand, I'm just going to rub and press. Now remember, this is going to print in reverse. I have done it the same as the picture, but it will be in reverse when it comes off. I also think I've got an air bubble under there somewhere, which probably isn't going to help. If you're not very strong and you don't have a lot of strength to be able to do this, you can use like a lid of a jar and just put a little bit of weight on, and that also provides a nice smooth surface. Right, that should be stuck, so let's remove some things out of the way. I'm going to move you sideways for the minute. We're going to peel. Right, and ta-da! There is our sparrow. So you've got all this all this beautiful texture going on in the background. We've got our branches and you've got our sparrow. And what we'll do is we'll work with the pastel on top of this to be able to kind of bring that forward and bring him forward. So now, if you pay attention or you've done this sort of printing before, you know you can do a ghost print. And that's basically doing a second print. So this is a piece of blocking foot, so it's watercolour paper, and we are just going to do exactly the same. I'm just going to sit you down on there. Now this time I'm going to use my slightly messy roller because it's not going to really make any difference, but we're going to use that and we're just going to press down. Remember, this is the back of the paper, so it's going to make absolutely no difference. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick up a ghost image. Now, the thing about doing monoblock in this way is you are never 100% sure what you're actually going to find. Now, I've known some people who will sit the jelly plate on top of one of those light boxes, because when you put light through it, it makes it easier to be able to see what you're taking away as your negative space and what you're leaving behind, which will be your printed space. But I don't know, I kind of like the mystery of what you're getting. You don't know, and sometimes that's fun. It gives it a much more natural look and it's way more interesting. So you move the jelly plate over. I'm gonna pull this off. Come on. Voila. Right. So apart from the fact it's now bending. Move the jelly plate out the way a minute. A little bit of soap and warm water and that cleans the jelly plate straight off. Just wipe it with a damp cloth and that works as well. So there we have it. We have our two prints, our ghost print and our actual print. Now I may work both. I may do two videos later on and actually do both of them using maybe I'll do one with an actual colour palette to match the photo reference and one with a limited colour palette using the colour cubes, and we'll actually see what we get between the two of them. I think both came out really well. I love all these little fine lines and details that have come out from the paper towel, and obviously the marks and stuff from the wool for the branches and everything else, and also the ghost image. We've got our brighter image from where the sunlight's coming from, where our bird is, where our branches are, and the texture looks almost completely different to that one because it's lighter and therefore it's not showing as much when the blocking foot is not insisting on doing that every 2 seconds. So I will leave it here for this. I hope you guys found that really interesting. I would definitely say have a go. I will put a link to the gel plate below in the description so that you can have a look for yourself. They are pretty inexpensive, these ones. The jelly plates are the best. They hold the paint a lot, ink. They hold the ink a lot better, and they also don't allow it to dry out too much, whereas with this you do have to move pretty fast. You can re-energize it with a very, very light mist spray of water and it will re-energize it, but you've got to be really careful. The idea is that actually, if I had wanted to, I could have cut these out and then rolled another colour over the top, and then what you would get is the white, where the whiter areas are is where you would get the undercolour. And I could have done that with the yellow to show you, but maybe another time. If you fancy seeing that with multiple layering for the gel plate before I go to actually the pastel stage, then let me know in the comments below. Comments below. Otherwise, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all for the other two videos where we get the pastels out and we start getting colour. Ta-ta for now.